What exactly is a product manager? Let's get into it. I have been a product manager for the past 1.5 years now, and I'm actually officially now a lead product manager. So I'd love to talk to you guys about what exactly do they do and what don't they do, okay? Let me start by saying a product manager is actually very different than a project manager. So this video is strictly focused on what a product manager is. If you guys want me to make a video explaining the difference between a project manager and a product manager, let me know in the comments and I'd love to assist with that. The first thing that the product manager does is to define and align on the product vision. So the product manager is literally in charge of the product, and they want to basically lay out a product that is going to please customers as well as going to please the stakeholders of the product. So let me make this in very practical terms for you. So I'm a product manager in an IT world. I work for digital health at a hospital, and I work in the IT automation team. And I'm a product manager, and my goal is to make sure that whatever product that I'm implementing is good for the doctors, it's good for the patients, and it's good for the hospital employees. But whatever I'm making, I have to make sure that it has a high ROI, which is basically a return on investment. So if my hospital invests in a product that I'm saying that is really good, I need to make sure that that investment actually comes back in. So it's essentially, if you're coming out with a new product on the market, you are the person in charge of making sure that product is released properly and making sure that everyone that's going to be using that product understands what it is and they like the actual product. So because of this, it actually requires a lot of research in the beginning. So the product manager is going to be in charge of understanding the analysis around this product, you know, maybe doing some research about data with people that have released a product that's similar to this, and kind of bringing that analysis to the stakeholders or the decision makers so that they can have a case for why they believe that this product is going to be great for the company. So this is just the beginning of the the product manager cycle, but just so you know, the product manager is very well involved in actually picking what product is involved and understanding and making a vision or a path to how someone is going to go from, you know, getting to know the product, implementing the product, and actually training the employees or the stakeholders to use the product. This job also comes with convincing stakeholders that the product that they're pushing is going to be good for the companies and good for the customers. This part can be a little bit tricky because there's so many politics, I feel like, in every single field, especially the hospital field. So for me, I'm working on a product and I have to make sure the doctors are okay with it, the chief medical officers, the CFO, because he has to sign the paperwork to actually get the money for the hospital to do this. So there's a lot of politics that go around deciding the product and also picking the vendors that you will work with to make this product actually implement into the company. So there is a lot of data analytics, operational work, and communications in order to even pick a product and make it ready to start being worked on. So coming from consulting, it was actually a pretty easy and smooth transfer for me, because in consulting I did a lot of business cases, a lot of analytics, a lot of presenting, right, a lot of PowerPoint slides. So doing this in my job now was pretty you know, seamless for me because I've been doing it for a while now. But it's good for you to know that product managers do have to communicate a lot in order for the company to know what's going on, for the stakeholders to be on board, and the customers to be happy. And they have to kind of gather that feedback as well when the product is live. The second thing that the product manager does is to understand and advocate for customer needs. This is very important because the customer is who is going to be able to kind of show the rest of the company that this product is really good. So in order for the product manager to do their job correctly, they have to please the customer. So if the customer says, hey, it would be really beneficial for me for my product to have A instead of B, the product manager is going to do the best that he or she can to make sure that they have an A instead of a B on that product, to make it really simple. Okay, so for me right now, my product is actually for patients and for doctors, both of them. So it actually makes it a little bit tough for me to please the customer because I have 2 customers using this product that I currently have. So what I do is I do surveys, feedback for both the patient and the doctors, and see what their issues are with the product. And from those results, I pick and choose what solutions will be best for both the patient and the doctor. So for any product manager, the customer is always going to kind of pave the way, because that, in order for that customer to be happy, the product has to be the way that they like it. So the product manager is going to really work together with a champion or maybe a representative from that customer base to really make sure that they're getting the best product out there for them. So that involves the product managers to have to gather together an outside team that may have maybe liaisons to connections for the customers, or maybe that has other data or communications team to make sure that any prior work that has been done with this group of people can be leveraged in order to make this product really great. So again, another example. So for me, for my product at the hospital, I am utilizing, communication specialists and marketing teams that work really closely with the CMO, with the chief medical officer, to really understand what is the goal of the CMO right now. And when I know that, I can now make sure that my product is aligning with that goal, so that whenever it comes for performance reviews and things like that for my product, I am making sure that my product is going to look like it's a winning product, because I'm aligning myself with the company's goals, the customer's goals, and also ROI, return on investment. The third thing, which I kind of touched on a little bit, is to build a team to have a great outcome. So my team just consists of me and my director. However, we work with a lot of different teams to help this product come together. I work in automation, but I am not a developer. Product managers do not have to know how to develop. They just need to understand the softwares that the developers are using. So for me specifically, I am doing a whole implementation in Epic. So I work with Epic consultants, and I also work with developers who are able to make changes in those environments. But then what I do is now I corroborate with the changes, I test the changes, and I'm making sure that whatever I ask for is being done. So in a sense, I'm kind of also working as a QA, which is quality assurance, because I'm always going to go back to my customer and come back to my requirements to make sure the product that my developer team is building is exactly what I asked for. So it's very important for you to understand, I'm not developing. So as a product manager, you would not develop, but you would be in charge of making sure that product is being developed properly, right? So you have to have a good team for that. So we have a team that's full of developers. So with that, I have a developer team, and then I also have a communications team. And that communications team really helps me to get things outside. So once something goes live, I'm able to work with them so that they can send mass emails to all the doctors, so they can send mass emails to patients that have worked with us at the hospitals to get some surveys out there. They also help me get a liaison to the chief medical officer and kind of like hire level executives as doctors, so they can also know what's going on with my product. So it's very important to have people that can kind of help you get all of these things together, because obviously you can't do it all by yourself. So the product manager, you have to make sure you have the right team backing you in order to get the right product. The fourth thing that the product manager does is to prioritize features and backlogs. So for me, I actually use Azure DevOps to do this. So my team is actually pretty agile. So we organize our things into sprints. And then in there, I have from an epic to a feature to a story to tasks. And I kind of lay everything on the project in there to kind of prioritize my features, prioritize what we're going to do next. So as a product manager, you kind of have that decision point to decide, okay, are we going to work on these enhancements, or are we going to work on this next thing, right? So you kind of make a decision with what the team is going to work on next, which is really great, but it's also kind of hard, because again, you have to make sure that the customer is happy. So you're going to make sure to have these conversations with the team that is working with you on this to make sure this is the best decision that you are making. But ultimately, the product manager will choose what is next in the project. And lastly, PMs also keep the status. So if you're a PM, a product manager, you are going to be in charge of keeping the team up to date with where you are with your product, because again, you own this product, and so therefore you want to be able to update the team, or maybe your coworkers or anybody else who's going to have anything to do around what you do, with where the product is at and what you need from them, or just any updates. We work agile, so I actually work out of Azure. So during our Scrum meetings, I'm going to share, hey, this is where we're currently at, this is what sprint that we're at, this is our timeline. So this is very common for any product manager to know their timeline, know what features they're working on, know where they're currently at in the project, and be able to share with anyone really what's going on with the product and what the expected timeline is for that project.